Just to confirm that everybody can hear me clearly, or if I need to speak up a bit more. Can everyone hear me clearly? You can just use the reaction so that I know that you can hear me perfectly.
Everyone, please kindly note that this session is being recorded. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you again, Adebola, and thank you everyone for joining today's session. Like Adebola introduced, today's session is AI and business, and we're going to be discussing how we can leverage AI for our business growth. I know that everyone here who is a business owner, we know that the bottom line of starting a business is to make profits. And if there is anything that can help us to achieve that, I think it's important for us to implement it or to leverage it. So we're going to be discussing how AI can support our business goals and help us to achieve all our business goals and make profits as we all want to. So as Adebola has introduced, my name is Moelo Akedusi, and I lead a team at the Optimal Digital Future. We believe that AI has the potential, to transform individuals and businesses and professionals as well. And so we do AI advocacy and also some skill development to ensure that people are able to utilize the potential that artificial intelligence currently has. So let's just go straight into the session without wasting much of our time. This is just a quick outline of what we're going to be discussing today. I'll talk about the objectives and also the introduction, AI in business, the opportunities and the challenges, and how we can integrate AI into our business. And we'll take some questions at the end. Also, if there are questions that you have as the session is ongoing, you can just note them so that we can take them all at the end. It will also be nice if this session is very interactive. I'll be asking some questions so that you can drop your responses in the chat as well, so that we can all learn from each other. So let me quickly run through the session objectives. I believe that at the end of this session, we'll be able to equip business owners with foundational knowledge of AI. We'll also explore some use cases of AI in business and help us to identify some opportunities that AI presents, as well as highlight strategies for successful AI adoption. So before we start, I would like to get some comments in the chat. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear AI? Like Adebola said, artificial intelligence is like the new buzzword now. But it would be nice to know what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear AI. Please, can we put our responses in the chat? Please, let's put our responses in the chat. It would be nice to hear. Okay, somebody said Terminator, end of days. Okay, that's interesting. Can we have some other responses? I think that this person has watched a lot of sci-fi movies for you to say Terminator, end of days. Okay, someone said ChatGPT, yes. Okay, that makes sense because ChatGPT basically like blew the artificial intelligence space. Okay, any other comment? Please drop your responses in the chat. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear artificial intelligence or AI? You know that there are lots of myths surrounding AI. A lot of people are wary of AI. A lot of people are scared. Oh, AI is this, AI is that. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear AI? Okay, can we get one more response? Okay, so China will take over the world. Okay, Internet of Things. Okay, these are some really interesting responses. Okay, I mean, it shows that a lot of us are in the know of what's happening right now. Okay, someone says automation. That's really good, and that's right. All right, thank you so much to everyone for your responses. I mean, it shows that we know what's going on right now in the world with technology, as technology is evolving rapidly. Okay, so quickly, what is artificial intelligence basically? So the human brain, I don't know if anyone of us is aware that the human brain is one of the most complex organs in the world. You know that as human beings, they say that we are higher animals, right? Our brain is really complex because we have the ability to reason, we have the ability to identify patterns, we have the ability to make decisions, we have the ability to solve problems, right? And so basically, artificial intelligence, as the name implies, is just intelligence of machines. Um, basically, if you just think about it, it's just the intelligence of machines. The way that human beings will have natural intelligence, or you're presented with a problem and you know what to do, or you can think about what you can do to solve it. It's just the way artificial intelligence is. So you think about machines or devices that can learn, that can reason, that can make decisions, in the way that we associate with human beings, right? That's basically what artificial intelligence is. So how does artificial intelligence work, right? You know that when we think about human beings, again, think about our brains, we say that, oh, for us to have like healthy bodies or healthy brains, you have to eat right, you have to sleep well, you have to exercise, there are a lot of things that we do to ensure that our brains are functioning properly. For artificial intelligence, what makes artificial intelligence work is data, right? So while human beings, we have food, we have sleep, we have rest. What powers artificial intelligence basically is data. And what is data? Data is any form of information, that you can give to the machine or to the device or to the machine or the device for it to understand patterns or to understand trends, so that it can now learn and is able to interpret these things and to carry out certain tasks. So let me give an example, right? A machine or a device is trained with pictures of cats, so you show it different pictures of cats, big cats, small cats, yellow cats, black cats, red cats, whatever type of cats there are there, and there are. And then the device is able to, see that, this is a cat, right? Process the way the cat looks, process, how many legs it has, or it has 2 eyes, it has a tail. And when, a picture that is not a cat is shown to the machine or to the device, it's able to say, okay, no, this is not a cat, right? And also, apart from noticing patterns, artificial intelligence also has the power to analyze trends, right? So let's say, for example, in a school, 20 students resume today, 30 students resume tomorrow, and we're able to feed this artificial intelligence with data. It's able to project or to propose that, okay, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, this is the number of students that will come to school. So this is basically the training process for artificial intelligence, basically teaching it to learn, to reason like human beings. Of course, we know that machines can never be human beings anyway. But yes, so artificial intelligence is basically intelligence of machines to help you to learn, to reason, and to analyze patterns and trends. So there are some components of artificial intelligence. This may sound really technical, but I'll just rush through it. The first one is machine learning, right? And this is just like the name implies, learning, machines that are learning, right? You're able to train them with data so that they can recognize patterns, so that they can, discover, oh, this is wrong, this is not supposed to be there, and they can also make projections. We also have the neural network. So remember that I've been talking about the human brain. The human brain is made up of neurons. There are science-based people on the call. They know that the human brain is made up of neurons, right? And so the computer systems that use artificial intelligence, they are also designed to imitate the neurons in our brain so that they are able to process data similar to the way human beings process data. It's just like when we go out somewhere now and see, we look and we see that, everywhere is cloudy. Our brain already tells us that it's possible that it's going to rain. Let me go back and take my umbrella. So these computer systems are designed to imitate the neurons in the brain so that they can make connections, to different patterns and trends. Also, there's something called natural language processing, and this is the ability of devices to understand speech. So when we think about devices that you can speak to, like things like assistant devices, they're able to understand your speech, they're able to analyze documents, and they're able to give you results. And the final one is robotics. I mean, I'm sure everyone has seen a robot, maybe in a sci-fi movie, or read about robots. They're basically machines that can assist people without actual human involvement. And so these machines are also, using artificial intelligence technology to operate. Okay, let me just quickly touch on the evolution of AI before we go into the main thing that we want to learn today. So again, everything starts from somewhere. A lot of people started hearing about artificial intelligence late 2022, when ChatGPT came up on the scene, right? Really disrupting everything. But artificial intelligence has been, the research has been ongoing even way before, ChatGPT came on the scene, and then the others, Google and Microsoft, right? And the question started from, okay, is it possible for machines, to mimic human intelligence? Is it possible for machines, rather than, we put garbage in, garbage out, do this, and the machine does? Is it possible for the machines to just, learn, how to do things, like human beings? It started with a test called the Turing test by Alan Turing. And since then, over the past 70 years, there's been a lot of non-stop research that has led to where we are today on artificial intelligence. Also, you'd be surprised to know that nearly 77% of all devices that we have today, computer devices, they use AI technology in one form or another. I'm sure a lot of us that, use our phones, for social media or for a lot of other things, you see that sometimes you want to buy something or you Google something, and then you start seeing, that thing come on your feed, or you start seeing recommendation for that thing. A lot of all the devices and all the applications that we have today, they use AI technology in one form or another. And the final thing I also want to mention is that by 2030, artificial intelligence is going to add $15.7 trillion to the world GDP, boosting it by 14%. And this is something that's going to be very, very interesting to business owners, because it's very important to say, okay, how can I leverage AI, to be part of this, right? To boost my business, to leverage my business growth. Okay. So like I said earlier, AI is seamlessly integrated into our lives. I mean, whether we like it or not, whether we realize it or not. Again, I would like to get some responses as well in the chat. How do you think that, you've been interacting with AI in your day-to-day life, in your everyday life? What applications or what things do you think are powered by AI in your day-to-day lives? It would be nice to get some responses in the chat. Okay, I think the responses there are still from the old question. Okay, so the question is that AI is seamlessly integrated into our lives, oftentimes without us realizing it. So how do you think that you've been exposed to artificial intelligence, in your day-to-day, in your everyday life, things that you do, or tasks that you do? Can we get some responses in the chat? Okay. Someone said in research. Someone said social media. Social media is actually very, very true. Someone said, okay, Siri, ChatGPT, the use of our electronic gadgets. Yes, I use ChatGPT. Okay. Okay. This means that we're already there, right? We're already implementing, we're already integrating AI into our lives. Okay, this is actually very interesting. Thank you so much for your responses. Okay, so just to add to all the things that we have said, a lot of us don't know that artificial intelligence is really, really incorporated in our daily lives without us realizing. I'm sure that many of us use Google Maps. Okay, Gemini for research. Thank you. Thank you so much for your responses. A lot of us use Google Maps, right? And we don't know that Google Maps is actually an application that is powered by artificial intelligence. So the data that we are providing to Google Maps is, okay, we go from point A to point B. Someone else goes from point A to point B. The application is learning, these routes, is learning, okay, where is traffic, where is there no traffic, where is the shortest route, where is the longer route, so that, when somebody else wants to use Google Maps, is saying, oh, okay, don't go this way, go that way, so that you get to your destination in a shorter period. There's also all the smart assistants applications, like I said, like Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa, all the other assistants. Again, another very important way that artificial intelligence is integrated into our lives, it's by personalized recommendation. So a lot of us use YouTube and Netflix. You see that when you watch something on YouTube or you watch a movie on Netflix, tomorrow, if you want to watch another one, it's recommending, okay, since you watch this one, you will like this one. This is how the technology of artificial intelligence is being incorporated, into some applications that we use. Also, if you think about social media, like somebody said in the chat, you think about when you search for something on social media, you see that those very, very similar recommendations, will come to your feed. That's how, artificial intelligence is being incorporated into our lives, or into some of these devices and some of these applications that we use. Okay, so let's quickly go to artificial intelligence in business. Since we've already talked about the introduction, what AI is, how AI is, powering some of the applications and some of the devices that we use. So let me just get by a show of hands, if there's anybody that is already incorporating AI in your business in one way or the other, can you just use the raise hand feature? It would be nice to get a feel of those who are already using artificial intelligence. If you're using AI in any way in your business, can you just raise your hand? Okay, I don't see any hand up. Okay, I can see one. Okay, that's interesting. All right, thank you. Okay, I can see another hand up. All right. So it's nice to know that there are people who are already integrating artificial intelligence into their business. So let's just go right into it. When we think about your business, we think about your processes and things that you do in your business. A lot of them they can be repetitive. A lot of them can be things that can be automated. And so if it's possible for you to have like tools that you can use to optimize these functions, I think that it's very important to leverage them, because this will also give you more time to do other things. It will also increase your efficiency and your productivity and drive your business value. And eventually even help you to reduce costs, right? Because you are automating some of these tasks, that you're spending a lot of time on. So it frees up time, for you to focus on other things. And it will interest you to know that in different industries, right, AI is already driving innovation and helping to solve complex problems and some challenges. Because when you think about the way the world is going, the way technology is evolving, artificial intelligence is already helping in healthcare, in finance, in agriculture, in different fields and different industries. So it's important for business owners, no matter how small, to also leverage the power of artificial intelligence for their businesses or to drive their business growth. So I'm going to talk about a few use cases of how we can integrate artificial intelligence into our business. Like I said earlier, a lot of tasks that we do as business owners, they are going to be, routine tasks. Or apart from business owners, even professionals, we know that we call them knowledge users or knowledge professionals. We do a lot of routine tasks. We have calls, we have reports we need to write, we have emails that we need to respond to. We have a lot of things that we need to do. And so it's important that we can leverage artificial intelligence to automate some of these routine tasks. And some of these tasks, again, you are on a call or you're having a conversation with someone. Artificial intelligence can help you to transcribe those calls. And you know that a lot of us, when we have meetings, you have AI assistants that join the meetings. What does this AI assistant do, right? So while you're having the meeting, you don't have to take notes. You don't have to, stress yourself, while you're trying to listen to what somebody is saying, to also take notes. By the end of the conversation, by the end of the call, there's an AI assistant that can summarize, all the conversation or everything that, has been discussed, and even just highlight all the points and even the action points so that you know what to focus on. We also have, diary management. A lot of us as business owners, you have a lot of meetings with other people, and you need, not every business can hire maybe a personal assistant or an executive assistant. This is where artificial intelligence can come in, to help you manage your diary, to help you manage your calendar and, all the meetings as well. There's also the email inbox management, right? A lot of us don't know that when we get emails, there are some artificial intelligence technology that helps us to sort out those emails, right? There are primary emails, there are emails that are, from socials, there are emails that are from newsletters we are subscribed to. Some of these emails or some of these devices or email applications, are powered by artificial intelligence that can help you to sort through them. So it's important for us to also leverage this, to free up time to do other things. Also, a lot of accounting and finance tools, that small businesses use actually have artificial intelligence embedded in them, that can help you, with invoice generation, that can help you with balancing your books, that can also help with data entry as well. I've also listed a few of the tools on each of the slides so that we can check them out. Okay. So another use case that artificial intelligence, I think there's someone that asked a question about virtual assistants. So yes, there are applications that can help you to. Sorry, can you still hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Yes.
I think my network went off for a bit. So there are applications that can help, to transcribe your calls, to, edit your documents, to even conduct research, right? And these are some of the things that virtual assistants do. So you can explore some of these applications. Again, a major thing that a lot of us have talked about that we use artificial intelligence for is, generating content, which is called generative AI. It's one of the popular ways that people incorporate artificial intelligence into their daily tasks, generating content, like, okay, you need to do like some marketing materials, you need to write some blog posts, you need to write copies. Again, business owners are not particularly buoyant enough, to have a lot of employees, or a lot of people who can do like specific activities or specific tasks. So this is where you can leverage artificial intelligence, right? Building emails, even if, you want to research content, you want to, okay, I have this idea, how can I go about it, right? Or you want to create images. Recently, ChatGPT also launched an image generating feature as well. So some of the tools that we can use to generate content, whether you want to use it for your marketing and communications, or just basically, write a document, write a proposal, write a business plan, write a blog post, or even just, okay, get an idea on how to generate content. These are things that artificial intelligence can help with. And these are some of the tools that we can use. I mean, these tools are not exhaustive. There are a lot of other tools that we can also research and we can also use that can boost our productivity as well. Again, another use case is in human resources and recruitment, right? Some part of this can also fall under the generating content, because whether you want to write like your job description or your responsibilities or your job advertisements, this is where artificial intelligence can come in. You can also use it to screen out candidates, screen out some of the CVs. You can also automate some of the onboarding processes, as well as automate training and personal development. And these are ways that small businesses or businesses can be more efficient, to create time to focus on other things as well. Okay. I think that we can also move to customer service and support, which is something that a lot of businesses may not focus on. Again, the customer is how businesses make money, right? So it's important to know how you're serving your customers. It's important to know the kind of support that you want to give to your customers, right? And there are ways that artificial intelligence can also help with this. You can track some of the orders that customers are making. Okay, maybe, this customer bought 5 of item last week, this customer did this or bought this. You're already getting data. That's basically data to know, okay, how many orders you're going to plan for, or I need to follow up with this customer because this customer is a consistent customer. I need to maybe provide discounts to this particular customer because this customer is one of my top rated customers. There are also again, this can also fall under the generating content. There are frequently asked questions that some customers may have. You can use artificial intelligence, to answer some of this. Another thing, another way that artificial intelligence can also help in customer service and support is customer service chatbots. I'm sure a lot of us have seen or have interacted with chatbots, maybe your bank or even I think on WhatsApp, there are banks that have or there are businesses, not only banks, that have chatbots that are incorporated into their WhatsApp feature. So you actually think that you're chatting with a human being, but you're actually chatting with a chatbot that has been trained, with data on how to respond to various questions, that customers may have. And finally, behavior prediction is also something that I touched on earlier. You're able to understand how your customer relates with your business. You're able to know, okay, this is when my customer makes an order, or this is how my customer likes their order to be. And you can use that as data to drive some of your business decisions, so that okay, these are the type of things that we should focus on, to save cost as well. Again, these are some of the tools that can help with this. Okay, so let's go to some opportunities and challenges. Because I know that a lot of people are already thinking, okay, if all this technology and all these devices are available, how can I use them to increase my revenue? How can I leverage them, for my business growth? Artificial intelligence, offers a lot of opportunities to businesses, and we're going to be exploring some of them. So like I said earlier, again, businesses have a lot of routine tasks or repeated tasks, right? And once you're able to automate some of these tasks, you're able to create time to focus on other things, which will lead to your increased efficiency and your productivity. You're able to focus on what the customer wants. You're able to focus on how to really, really meet the customer. And this will lead to growth, revenue growth, customer growth as well. Also, remember that we talked about behavior prediction and how some of these tools can help to give personalized recommendations, right? This can also lead to enhanced decision making, by the businesses. So the businesses are able to know, okay, these are the things that we should be producing, or these are the things that customers like best. Or our customers don't really like this one, so let's focus on this one, right? And this can also, again, help with saving costs as well, because you're able to focus on some of the things that are really important to your target market or to your customers. And eventually, when your customers are able to get maybe personalized recommendations, or they're able to see, okay, these are the things that we really want, and the businesses are providing some of these things, it's also going to result in improved customer satisfaction, basically, and having your customers keep coming back. It's also good for business. Now, another thing is, with the way the technology is evolving and growing rapidly, eventually it's going to be businesses or professionals that can use AI versus those that cannot, right? Because if AI is making you more efficient, making you more productive, eventually it's going to be, okay, those that are able to incorporate AI into their processes versus those that cannot, right? Like basically what we say, that the survival of the fittest, right? So this is an innovation, this is a technology, this is a tool that has the opportunity to reshape your business, to help with growth, help with revenue. And so it's going to give you a competitive edge eventually, right? I'm trying to remember, there's a statement that says, that's escaped my memory now. What I'm trying to say is going to be those who can use artificial intelligence versus those who cannot, basically. That's how the world is going. Even though a lot of people have this feedback about, oh, artificial intelligence taking over jobs, again, like I said, it's not important, it's not possible for machines to reason like human beings, like 100%, right? Yes, there's a lot of research that has gone into it. There's a lot of training with data, but definitely there's still going to always be the human feel or the human effect, over AI, to make sure that you want to get the perfect result from artificial intelligence. You still need that human oversight, basically. And so those who are able to use artificial intelligence in their professional lives and their businesses are going to have a competitive edge over those who cannot, basically. And so this is also an opportunity, for businesses to be innovative, for businesses to incorporate technology into their processes so that they can have that competitive edge over those who don't. Also, another opportunity that artificial intelligence in business offers is reduced human error. Like we know, like human beings, yes, we've talked about how amazing the human brain is, and how it can reason, how it can solve problems. But again, it's still limited because as humans, we can make mistakes as well. And so working with artificial intelligence or using artificial intelligence in our operations or in our business processes, can help us to reduce some of the errors, that we can make. And so I believe that all these opportunities are, things that are going to be beneficial for businesses. So it's important to begin to think about, okay, what are the processes that my business currently undertakes? What are the tasks, that we currently do? And how can we incorporate technology, to help us to grow better, to increase our revenue, to satisfy our customers, and to ensure that they keep coming back. But again, on the other hand, right, which I know that a lot of people have talked about, especially when we started and somebody was saying the end of the world, taking over the world, there are challenges, that artificial intelligence presents as well. A lot of the tools that we talk about, yes, there are free tools that businesses can leverage, but there are also some tools that, some features that you want to explore, you may need to pay for. So there are some costs that can come with artificial intelligence, especially for small businesses. But I think that a way that small businesses can provide the solution to this challenge is to explore some of the affordable, AI solutions. There are AI solutions or AI tools, that have free versions that small businesses can explore as well, or maybe partner with other providers to reduce the costs associated with, integrating artificial intelligence into your business processes. There's another challenge that artificial intelligence also comes with, especially because we are talking about, data, which is like a fuel for artificial intelligence. When you're trying to learn about how your customer relates with your business, or how your customer buys your product or uses your services, you are using some of the data from the business or some of the data from the customers. And also there is issue of data privacy concerns, when it comes to artificial intelligence, because protecting sensitive customer data is very, very important, especially now in the age that we are in, right? And so I think that one way that businesses can navigate this challenge, is to ensure that there are security measures. When you take customers' data, you ensure that the customer data is not put somewhere that just anybody can access it. And also there are data privacy regulations that exist, especially in Nigeria. There's a Nigerian data privacy regulation. So it's important for businesses to ensure that your data collection, processing, and everything that has to do with your customers' data, is something that fits into the regulation that currently exists. Another challenge is that a lot of businesses are afraid, or they struggle, to implement AI systems because again, there's a lack of technical expertise. A lot of people think that, oh, you need to be really, really technical to be able to incorporate artificial intelligence into what you do. But basically, knowledge is now ubiquitous. Like, we can get knowledge from everywhere, and nobody has 100% of knowledge. So I think that one way that businesses can navigate this, is to keep learning, keep reading, and also know that the more knowledge that you have access to, the more impact, that this will have on your business. So it's important to, and again, training doesn't have to be something that you go to school and pay for. There's a lot of information that is out there that's available on the internet that you can learn about. AI, some of the AI tools that you can use, some of the technologies that you can use to grow your business, and to increase your revenue, and also customer growth as well. So if this is something that you're worried about, oh, I'm not a technical person, oh, I'm not someone that I'm not really into technology, right? It's not a big deal. It's just for you to have, for you to want to learn on how this can improve your business. Because to be honest, artificial intelligence is not in the future, it's already here to stay. And so the quicker that we can adapt to it, the quicker that we can use it, the better for us and for our businesses. Also, I know that a lot of people are hesitant to trust artificial intelligence systems. A lot of people are saying, oh, I don't want to use AI because I'm worried about my data, or because I'm worried that there are lots of myths out there. People are saying, oh, AI will take people's jobs and all that and all that. But the truth is that artificial intelligence it's just like when you think about a carpenter and a hammer, right? Artificial intelligence it's the hammer, right? And we are like still the carpenters that are still going to navigate it to help us achieve whatever goal that we want to achieve, right? It's still the human oversight in artificial intelligence is still very, 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 very important. So again, I know that some of us are hesitant to trust AI systems, but if we also think about some of the success stories, think about or read about how other businesses have been able to incorporate artificial intelligence into their processes and some of the things that they've been able to achieve, you see that this is something that can really, really help our businesses. So once we are able to look at all the success stories, I think that will help to build the trust and help us to adopt AI in our processes. So I think as we wrap up now, let's just talk about integrating artificial intelligence into our business, right? So I'm going to start with assessing your business needs, right? Again, different businesses, there are different businesses on this call that operate in different industries, that have different processes and have different challenges. So it's important to access your business needs. Okay, what are the things that my business needs, and what are the processes that we currently do? What are the tasks that we currently do? It's important to sit down and assess that. And then, okay, how can artificial intelligence help, right? Because again, like I said, every business has different dynamics, depending on the industry or depending on what exactly it is that you're doing. So once you're able to access the business needs and see how artificial intelligence can help, now you move to, okay, what are the goals that you want to achieve? Okay, do I want to increase revenue, or do I want to get more customers? Do I want to improve my marketing? Do I want to ensure that we reach more people, or do I want to increase our customer base? Once you're able to set the clear goals, after you assess your needs, so that's the next step. Then assessing the needs and also setting the goals will now help to choose the right tools that you want to use to integrate AI into your business. Like we've already talked about, there's a lot of use cases for AI. There's a lot of use cases on generating content, on recruitment, human resource, marketing, a lot of things basically. So this will give more context on the right tool that you want to use. Again, like I said earlier, data is the fuel for artificial intelligence. What are currently the data that you are getting from your customers, or the data that your business is processing, right? It's important to be able to there's something that they say, oh, everybody must, there's something that they say, everybody else must bring data or something. I can't remember. There's the first one that they say, just keep my mind right now. But data is basically very, very important, whether business, whether, government or anything. Data is something that helps you to show trends, that helps you to show patterns. And so it's important to note, okay, what are the data that we are producing, or what data are we using in this business, right? So for example, if you are someone who is maybe a fashion designer, right? What are the kind of data that you are using or that you need? Okay, you know that, we have more women that come to our store to make clothes, or we have this age group that patronize us more. So you're able to make like informed decisions or targeted decisions, based on the kind of data that you are getting, right? And this can also help, with the artificial intelligence tool that you're using or that you want to integrate into your business. So it's important that no matter how small the business is, every business is generating data. Every business is using data in one way or the other, right? So it's important to, identify the kind of data that we are generating in our business. Please, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Okay, so what I was trying to remember, there's this statement that people say, in God we trust, every other person must bring data, right? So data is the foundation, of knowing the type of tools that you want to use, of knowing, okay, how you can target your customers better, how you can, even deliver more services to your customers. When you're able to identify, okay, this is the pattern, or this is the trend in my business, okay, then you're able to, develop better products even for your customers. You're able to identify, okay, this is the type of people that patronize us. Okay, so what are the things that we can do, or what are the benefits, or what are the incentives that we can give to these customers to ensure that they still continue to patronize us? So again, data is everything, right? So no matter how small the business is, you still need to identify the type of data that you are generating. Another thing that I'll touch on is, upskilling your team. Again, small businesses are very lean, and so it's important to continuously upskill, continuously read, continuously learn about the artificial intelligence technology, to know that artificial intelligence is here to stay. So we need to know how to incorporate it into our business, right? You can watch. There are a lot of free educational videos on artificial intelligence if you don't know where to start. So I don't want us to see it as, something that is, just technical, or something that is technical people that need to know about it. Right. It's important to continuously learn, continuously upskill, and to learn how we can incorporate some of these tools and these technologies into our business. And again, as we start integrating artificial intelligence into our business, it's very, very important to start small. I mean, you can, based on the business needs that you have assessed, and based on the goals that you have set for your business on how to integrate AI, start small, and then you can scale gradually. Right? You cannot do it. Every AI cannot solve all your business problems, at the same time. It's just important to know, okay, this is the most important thing to my business that I want to solve, and set the goals. And then you can now identify, okay, what are the artificial intelligence tools or technology that I want to use, to solve some of these problems. And then gradually you begin to, set more goals, bigger goals, and scale. The last thing I'll talk about is to monitor and optimize. So once you introduce a new function or a new feature into your business, it's important to see how is this going, right? Okay, so before we used to do this manually, now we are automating. What's the impact on our business? Are we growing? Is it increasing our revenue? Is it increasing the number of our customers? Is it making us better? And so the more you are able to monitor this information, you can now optimize. Okay, this is working, then let's improve it. or let's increase it, or this is not working, maybe we should change how we've been doing it before. So I feel like, I believe that, these are some ways that, businesses, whether small businesses or medium scale businesses, can integrate artificial intelligence into our business operations and our business processes. I think that I also want to get a feedback at this point. I hope I'm still on time. I had asked a question earlier about businesses that are incorporating AI into their business. So it would be good to also get some feedback based on some of the challenges that you've encountered, or what are the business needs that you've assessed, what are the goals that you have set, and then how was AI able to help you to navigate this integration. I think there were two people that raised their hands initially. You can unmute and speak so that others can also learn from how you've been able to integrate artificial intelligence into your business. I think if I remember, there was Cormac. Was it Cormac that raised the hand? Clodox, sorry. Okay, Clodox, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity to contribute in this training. Yeah, as we are in health tech, actually, we are a telemedicine platform which is designed actually to help in bridging the gap in healthcare challenges in Nigeria. So when we started, actually, we understand that there is some challenges going on in Nigeria, like lack of enough doctors, which we come to understand that in Nigeria we have about two doctors about 8 to 10,000 patients, which is saying that there is a very limited number of doctors which cannot be able to accommodate the healthcare challenges in Nigeria. Secondly, we understand that there is also hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so secondly, we understand that people find it very difficult to reach to hospital in most cases of emergency. So we came to we think about how can we actually help to solve this problem. Then that's where the AI came in. We said, okay, what we're gonna do is that we have to bring a way that we can use an AI for diagnosis. So even though our diagnosis is not 100% AI, but what we do is that from the login of our application, the first thing that you will do is that you will be asked some questions, which are live questions that is coming from AI that we integrated. We are now using actually API of a chat GPT, which we integrated like in our application that it will ask you some vital questions about how you are feeling, since when you have been feeling this, the kind of medical question that a nurse will ask you or a doctor will ask you before consultation. So we make it actually rapidly. So once you answer that question, it will automatically suggest you. So it will tell you that, okay, since you are facing this, you are experiencing this healthcare challenges, so we will actually match you with this kind of doctor. So that AI is helping actually in taking your vitals, taking your healthcare updates. That is the first questions that you will ask you before, like you seeing the doctor. So the doctor will to sorry, the AI will match you to exact doctor that you're supposed to do to see based on the questions that you answer. So maybe it can be a nephrologist, cardiologist, or gynecologist. However, the AI also that we integrated, it will also help you to be giving you a reminder of health tips. Maybe you are going through a cardiac, maybe you experience a cardiac arrest or something like that. So what is going to happen? The AI will be sending you automatic, healthcare tips, maybe daily reminder every morning to tell you that, hey, today you should do some exercise, you should drink some enough water, you should have some rest. So actually, this is what we do now, and we are learning to improve it like beyond this stage. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much, Clodox, for sharing how you're integrating artificial intelligence into your business. That's really, really interesting, especially because of the state of healthcare in our country today, and how the number of doctors that are leaving, and the access to medical practitioners is reducing. So this is actually very, very interesting and well done. There was another hand up, Cornwall. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. Cornwall, I saw it earlier. Okay, Comac Wall, sorry. Comac Wall Solutions. Please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so very much for this section. Okay, so I have a question. You were talking about AI being used in human resource, and you talked about analyzing of candidates, something like that. I needed you to throw more light into that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Komakwo.
Hello.
I think we'll take that during the Q&A session. I've noted that and I'll answer that during Q&A. Temitayo, you said you've worked on similar projects before. Do you want to share?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Where I was very noisy. I have to come out. Okay. Not for my own business. The business I currently run now is a fabric store where I sell all types of fabric. Okay, so but the project which I worked on before was a tech this thing. I'm also into tech. So I'm into blockchain development actually. So I worked on something like that, something like what Claude just explained, connecting patients with doctors for a hackathon. So that's just hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I saw your chat, so I did not want to ignore that. Thank you. Okay, I think that we can quickly wrap up the session and before we go into the Q&A. So just to highlight a few things again, it's important to understand artificial intelligence, right? A lot of people are worried about artificial intelligence rather than learning about it and seeing how it can help their business. So I think it's important to understand AI. Don't be afraid to learn. And like I said, it's important to identify your business needs and what exactly it is that you want artificial intelligence to help you to achieve, especially after you have set the goals, right? The stage that we are in now, we can see that those that are open to embracing AI are more likely to actually succeed with all the innovation that is coming with the technology. When you leverage AI, you can achieve your goals, you can scale operations more efficiently. Another thing is choosing the right tool. Like I said, there are lots of information, there are lots of tools and technologies available. So it's important to research, the different options, and also to see, those who have used it before, what are some of the feedback that they're giving on, some of these tools that they're using. Excuse me. And again, like I said earlier, it's always good to start small, to start, with simple tools, and then you scale up from there. Also, using AI effectively is important. We have talked about how data is the fuel for artificial intelligence. So it's important to provide high quality data. It's important to set realistic expectations. And like I said, humans or artificial intelligence cannot be like human beings eventually, right? It's something that wants to mimic human intelligence. So which is why maintaining the human oversight is very, very important. to use artificial intelligence effectively. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you so much. So we can go into the question and answers now. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat, and we can answer them. Again, like a lot of people on the call are already using AI, so I'm sure that if there are questions that I cannot answer, people who are already, using AI are going to be able to bring their own perspective to provide information, because we're all learning together. So let me just quickly respond to the question about AI in HR. So there are lots of tools, that HR managers or recruiters that they use, right? That are able to search through some of the job boards, where people post jobs to source for, the most relevant candidates for the role. There's also, also, in HR, in recruitment, the candidate screening is also a task, that HR people or talent recruitment people do. So there are tools that can actually, filter, some of the candidates, based on some of the requirements that they use or that they need for the role. If you remember, there's this thing called the ATS that they use to screen out CVs. A lot of these teams use technology as well, use artificial intelligence technology as well. Also, remember that we have talked about, automating repeated tasks, right? When you are having like interviews with people, artificial intelligence tools can help with, transcribing, summarizing some of these interviews, making it easier to do the task, right? So again, there are lots of use cases for artificial intelligence in recruitment or in human resources, and so there are tools that you can check out and explore that can help. Okay, there's another question in the chat. Do you think that AI data used to train the current models can be biased when used in the African business context? Thank you very much. This is actually a very interesting question. Very excellent question, actually, because one of the challenges that artificial intelligence currently has now is the issue of bias, right? When you think about all the tools that currently exist, they have been trained with, these tools have been built, outside Africa, or the people that don't look like us, right? And naturally, everybody is biased, based on the society that you are born in, or based on, where you are, right? And so people who have built some of these things, they've used data that they have, to train the models. Remember when ChatGPT first launched and people were trying to use ChatGPT to get, images of Black people or African people, and the images were always very, very weird and funny, right? So definitely, artificial intelligence data that I've used, to train the current models are very, very biased, which is also why it's important to get, people who look like us or people from, Nigeria, Africa, to not just be users, but, also part of the builders of AI, right? And we're hoping that a lot more people, will be able to learn the skills and, take up roles where they can influence and reduce some of these, bias and ethical concerns that currently exists. Okay, so somebody's asking, what ethical, sorry, I needed to stop sharing so I could read the question. What ethical concerns should businesses consider when implementing AI? Okay, this is actually another very, very excellent question. Again, based on some of the things that we have said, right, there are challenges that come with incorporating artificial intelligence. And I think that one that businesses need to consider, apart from the bias that we've already talked about, there's also the issue of referencing. There's also the issue of referencing, the issue of deep fakes, the issue of copyrights, right? Because I don't know if you remember that these are some of the issues that are currently, the ethical issues that currently exist right now with people using AI, not attributing or not referencing properly, or copyright issues, right? People are thinking, okay, how do you attribute artificial intelligence, right? How do you say, okay, I used AI to do this thing, right? So it's important for businesses to consider some of these things, apart from the bias, the issue of copyright, the issue of data privacy, like I said earlier, the issue of referencing or attribution, right? If, for example, a business is using artificial intelligence to generate images, maybe for marketing purposes, there's always the issue of, okay, it's important to mention that this image was generated by AI or not, right? So these are some of the things that businesses should consider, when they are thinking about incorporating AI into their, processes. Okay. Let me see if there are other questions in the chat. Okay, there's another question. I asked ChatGPT the other day if the data it gives can be classified as plagiarism, and it said no. What do you have to say about that? This is interesting. Okay, I think that what I have to say about that is to think about, okay, what exactly is plagiarism, right? Like from the definition, basically, let's think about that. And plagiarism is when you are presenting other people's work or their ideas or whatever it is that they've done before as your own without, crediting the original author. So how ChatGPT and some of these generative AI tools work is they source information from all around the internet, right? Usually if you want to go to Google, you'll start reading, you enter what you want to ask Google, and then you start taking it one after the other reading. But what these generative AI tools like ChatGPT, what they do is that they source the web, for all the information and present it to you, at once. And again, if you look at some of these things they present, you see that below the information, they actually reference, they actually list, some of the websites where they have gotten it from. So basically, plagiarism is, saying something or using or presenting another person's work as your own or idea as your own. That's really what plagiarism is. And especially people that are, in the academic field, which is something that is very, very serious, it's important to reference your sources, right? So ChatGPT, what ChatGPT is giving is actually not plagiarism, because most of the time, or almost all the time, they actually reference where they've gotten the information from. So if we are using ChatGPT to generate information, generate content, you will see that below the information or below the content that has been provided, they always source or they always reference, the source. So if you also want to use anything that ChatGPT has given you, it's important to also reference. It's important to say that, oh, okay, according to so, this is so, right? And not presenting the work, or somebody else's ideas as our own, which is what plagiarism is basically. I don't know if that answers the question. All right, thank you too. Okay, are there other questions? Let me check the chat again. Okay, so I can't see any other question, but I think it would be nice to also hear from some of the businesses that are incorporating AI, if there are challenges that you think that you're faced, in integrating AI into your business. If it's something that you want to talk about.
Okay, good day, ma.
All right, go
Hello.
ahead.
Good day, ma. Ma, can you hear me?
Yes, good
Can everyone hear
afternoon.
me?
Go ahead. Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Ma, my name is Akwanke, and I enjoyed the class today. I thank you very much. I think for me, I really need AI in my business because I'm understaffed and there are lots of work. I don't know if there's an AI tool that can help me manage my account. Like, let's say my account statement, I don't know much about auditing, but it can just give me a breakdown, something like that. At a glance, I just see and understand like the figures in my establishment. That's my question, ma.
Okay, please, can you just give more clarity to the question? So you said you want to understand, maybe your profit and loss or some of the account statements that you have. Is that the question?
Yes,
Something
ma'am.
that can just summarize. Okay.
Yes,
So
yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure, or if you, I'm not sure some of us know, but there are some generative AI tools, that you can upload documents and ask it to, analyze this for you. I particularly know about Microsoft Copilot, which is something you can check. You can check Microsoft Copilot. I want to see, let me quickly check something and post in the chat. Microsoft Copilot, you can actually attach documents and ask it to do whatever tool or whatever task that you want it to do. I will post this in the chat. It's like a YouTube video about how Microsoft Copilot works. Maybe something that you can explore for the task or for that process that you're trying to do. Also, if anyone has other tools that you think that can help with this question, please, you can also put in the chat. Again, nobody is an island. So yeah. I hope this helps. You can check the Copilot tool. I believe that Copilot can work for that.
No problem. Hello, I can't hear anything. Oh.
I already said that I posted a link in the chat that can provide more context on how Copilot can help with this process or this task that you raised. I don't know if anyone, can you see the link in the chat? I believe that Copilot can be helpful in this task. That's okay, Sin, okay, all right. Also, if there's anyone that knows any other AI tool that can do this task that Josephat is asking, please, you can also put in the chat. Okay, I don't know if there are other questions. Adibola, I don't know how much time I have left.
So we have
Hi, can you hear me?
60 minutes left. Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, someone said ChatGPT 2 can do the same. So Josephat, you can also try ChatGPT because you
you
can
hear me,
attach
please? Good
documents to
morning.
ChatGPT. Yes, go ahead, please. Yes, we can hear you, Ubok.
Thank you. I don't know if it was mentioned because initially the internet was kicking me out and in and out. Yes, so I have a challenge with how do I say this? Automating my response or getting automated responses for my chats, especially WhatsApp. So I usually get a floodgates of questions and inquiries. And I know that there are some people who you chat, and I know those responses are not them. Probably was automated. How do I incorporate this for my WhatsApp? So people may ask, how much is this? What is this? And it's almost the same response. Are there tools that I could work with? I don't know if it was raised or mentioned during the initial part of the class. Are there tools I could work with that would save me all that stress of responding to the same question? So somebody suggested I try when I'm running my ads, but it's not the ads part. So somebody is just reaching out to me, maybe from my website or from a Google search. and I cannot respond to all of those responses or questions rather. I don't know if there's a tool that I could work with that makes life easy for me.
All right, thank you, Ubok. So with WhatsApp, I know that the WhatsApp business, there is the automated response that you can have. Like, whether you're not online, someone reaches out to your WhatsApp chat, there can be an automated response. But
Yes,
I
I've
think that
tried that. It's just a
okay.
one-time response,
Yeah,
and
it's just
that's
a one-time response. But I think
yes.
that I know what you're asking, like the one that people can chat and then they can get responses. I think that is actually there's this thing that they call it. There's an extra application that is actually incorporated into the WhatsApp to do that. But I will check it out and get details on that. And I think that I will reach out to Adebola to give the information. Okay, somebody said chatbots are best for that. Sendpulse.com can do that. Okay, thank you so much, Mohamed. So Ubok, I think you can check the chats. So there are third-party applications that you can incorporate into WhatsApp to do that, actually. It's not WhatsApp that provides that feature. So I think you can check the sendpulse.com that Mohamed has recommended. But if there are other ones that I find, I will share with Adebola as well to forward to you. But they are third-party applications.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohamed, for that. Okay, thank you everyone for the feedback and for sharing too. For those that have already started integrating AI. So are there other questions before we call it a day for this session? Thank you again to everyone for being, it was a very interactive session. So thanks again for your time and your attention. Okay, Sarah, okay, attendance link, I think it has been shared. It has been shared. So I think that I can hand over to Adebola. I hope that this session has been really helpful and informative to everyone on how to use AI or leverage AI to increase their business growth and revenue. Thank you everyone again for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. Adebola, over to you.
Hi, thank you very much, Moi. Yeah, it's been a wonderful session, and even myself, I've been able to learn one or two things, and I'm sure the businesses here have also learned the same thing. Thank you very much, and we appreciate your knowledge sharing today. All right. So I already shared the attendance, the link to the attendance form in the chat box. Please ensure you fill it, and if for any reason you can be unable to fill it, send me a DM on WhatsApp, and I will share with you. And with this, we have come to the end of our session for this week, and we'll continue on Monday. Thank you very much for joining us, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Mom. We really enjoyed that.